Everything you need to know about psoriasis in 60 seconds. Okay, let's see if I can actually get this all under a minute. I have all my trusty notes here. Okay, let's go. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease, which means your immune system is attacking your skin cells. And when it does that, it creates these plaques. It's tend to develop places like your elbows and your scalp or your knees or your palms, but it can develop absolutely anywhere. According to the National Psoriasis Foundation, some 7.5 million people in the US are affected by psoriasis, 125 million people worldwide. There are no known reasons why anybody gets psoriasis. There might be some genetics involved with it, but nobody actually really knows, and there are absolutely no cures. However, there are treatments, and these tend to be either topical, light therapy, or medication like beta blockers. There are 5 different types of psoriasis, the most common one being plaque psoriasis, which 80 to 90% have in, followed by gutate psoriasis, which is also called splatter psoriasis, because it looks like somebody took psoriasis and splattered it all over your body. Okay, Google, stop timer. And that's an overview of psoriasis. Okay, now that you are all caught up with what psoriasis is, I want to talk a bit about my personal experience with psoriasis, specifically what it's like to live with it, how it's not just like a cosmetic issue, and the difference of care between the US and a country with socialized healthcare. So, I have that weird spatter psoriasis that is literally over my body. It looks like somebody took psoriasis and like it's really bad on my scalp. That is where I tend to get the itchiest, but I will literally itch everywhere. It starts off just being like pretty like teardroppy. As you can see, there's some and there's some. It's everywhere. You can see it on my face. I'm not wearing a lot of makeup so that you can actually see my psoriasis. And also I am filming in a 90-degree room, so the little bit of makeup that I was wearing has melted off my face. But left untreated, the psoriasis just becomes itchy. Like, my psoriasis has gone from being in little droplet forms, and this has happened for both my flare-ups, to horrifically itchy face, just like, oh no. And it's so bad. It is so bad that I will like itch myself like bloody in my sleep, and people have to constantly tell me to not itch. Constantly. Gretchen, stop itching. Stop itching. Seriously, girl, you gotta stop itching. If it's not treated past the itchy stage, for me, it'll just continue to be itchy, actually. It's always itchy. It gets really, really painful. So this isn't just about looking pretty. It's about my quality of life. My first flare-up was happening a little bit before I went to China. It actually started happening a lot longer than that. It took me about a year to actually fully get treatment, because at first everybody just thought I had a rash or like an allergic reaction to something. And it took me forever to get somebody to actually look at me and be like, you have psoriasis. And then it took me 3 months to get into a specialist for the very first time. And it sounds like that's a long time for the very first time. It doesn't get any better. It takes me about 3 months to get into my specialist every time. When you first have psoriasis, the number one thing that they'll give you is a topical treatment, like this. They're like ointments and creams, and you put them on all your little spots. And if you have just plaque psoriasis in a small location, that's really, really easy. When it's all over your body, it's really time consuming. But for me, it doesn't work. I have this funky psoriasis that is unresponsive to topical treatment. Hooray. It just continues to get worse. It does slow down, so it's good to have a little bit of it on hand, but it just continues to get worse. The next big thing that people usually prescribe is light therapy, like UV rays, phototherapy. And I wish that was as easy as just sitting in my backyard and tanning, but unfortunately it's not. First time, by the time we figured out that I am not responsive to these, I was gonna be moving to China, and there just wasn't time to put me in light therapy. And I was told that I needed to jump on trying to get in with a specialist in China as soon as possible, because it is even slower than the States. Why? Socialized healthcare. guess that's really slow. Wrong. The treatment that I got in China was so much faster than the States. So instead of the 3-month wait that I used to get into a specialist in the US, getting into a specialist of China took me about 3 to 4 days, like half a week. It was so fast. And once I was there, they actually listened. They responded to what I had been on before, and they evaluated my situation, and they immediately put me in light therapy, and my psoriasis was gone in about a month. The whole thing cost me about $60 US. In the States, I've got my second flare-up. Again, it took me about 3 months to even get into a specialist, and by that time I'd gone from being a mild case below 3% to a higher moderate case around 7%. And they once again put me on topical treatment and were like, we'll see about the light therapy, maybe this topical treatment will help. It did not. And it has been a battle. Oh my God. I've been fighting with my insurance company to get phototherapy for 6 months now. My doctors and the nurses I've worked with have all been pretty swell. They were pretty quick to like pick up on the, oh, topical treatment doesn't work on you. Let's try to get you into light therapy. And my insurance company is just refusing to pay for it. Why? Because topical treatments are less expensive for them. Despite my medical history, proven medical history, they refuse to let me be on light therapy. So I've been battling with my insurance company in the States to get the one treatment that we already know is effective. Meanwhile, they have forced me to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on other medications and appointments and checkups. I've literally spent, I think, around $5,000 to $6,000 so far this year on psoriasis stuff that doesn't work. UVB for some reason is weirdly expensive in the hospital. Again, it cost me about $60 US in China, and if I paid for it out of pocket in the States, it would be $7,000 to sit in a tanning bed. Why? But still, insurance has one job, and that is to help make healthcare affordable in a country where healthcare is ridiculously expensive. One job. If you want to know more, I'm putting links down below. If you have psoriasis and you've had trouble getting the treatment that you need, please let me hear your story. I'd like to collect more. If you want to find ways to help out, I'm also putting a link to the National Psoriasis Foundation. I think it is really important to help raise awareness about, one, how this is actually a quality of life issue for many people, and two, how ridiculous it is trying to get care in the US. Okay, thanks. Stop, G.